Welcome to Season 5, Episode 6 of the Crochet Luna Vlogcast. My name is Claudia and I'm coming to you from the San Diego area in Southern California. Hello everybody! I hope that you are doing well. I want to thank any returning viewers and any new viewers. I welcome you to this vlogcast. I am a crochet-centric vlogcast. I talk about crochet, sometimes knitting, sometimes sewing, but mostly it's about the crochet life. So welcome, grab something to drink, grab a project, lots to talk about, and yeah, let's get started. I'm coming to you this Saturday afternoon from San Diego. We had a beautiful day today, and I came home really quick because I wanted to record an episode. I finally had the time to do so. March came and went, and I didn't get to record an episode, and so there's lots of stuff to talk about. I went to Stitches West, which was so great at the beginning of March. Then I got sick with like some upper respiratory stuff, not arthritis related, which was great. I have to say my arthritis has been doing really, really well. It's very much under control. And I am enjoying not having to deal with those kind of health issues, right? Let's see, I started a new job, which is really great. And like I said, Stitches West was at the beginning of March. And I went with my friend Zelda, who is Zelda NRJ3 here on YouTube. And another lady who is Leo. And she has an Instagram account, but she's not on YouTube really. But she was wonderful company. She's an amazing crocheter. So I got to ride up with them to Sacramento to a new place where Stitches West was going to happen. And I have to say, having gone to Stitches West, I guess it was 2020 was like the last big yarny show that I went to. And it was great. Like, it was fantastic. But I've got to say that being in Sacramento, where the convention is and where they have the show, is so much better. I really enjoyed it. Mainly because there were so many things that were walking distance that you could literally walk out of the convention center, and there was like a little like street full of like restaurants of all kinds. And I really enjoyed having the ability to just park the car and like walk to places that we could eat. The venue was great. It was a little bit, I would say it was a little bit smaller than obviously previous shows. But I still got to see a lot of vendors. I got to see a lot of friends. I got to see people that I have only really interact with online. For example, Kirsten of DK Graham. I finally got to meet her and hug her. She's so wonderful. I got to see Maria of A Needle Runs Through It, who is amazing. She's a lovely, lovely person and an incredible maker. Let's see, I got to see Eva from Size Make Yarn, and my peeps from Oink Pigments, and Leslie of Laser Sheep. So many wonderful people that I got to see. And it was just, I got this feeling that everybody was just so happy to be there, to be happy to be seeing yarn, to be seeing old friends. And it was a really great vibe. So I'm really looking forward to going back next year, even though I will probably be at Stitches SoCal in November. If you guys don't know, there is a Stitches West event happening in Pasadena. I've been screaming all afternoon because I went to my daughter's volleyball tournament, and I'm that parent, you guys. I'm that parent. I'm that loud, obnoxious parent that really gets into it. So my voice is a little rough. So I'm drinking some hot tea. Anyway, love Stitches West. I didn't buy a lot of things, I have to tell you. I will show you some of the things that I bought. I wasn't really in that mode. If you saw my previous episode, you know I'm on a journey. I'm on a decluttering journey, which, by the way, I really enjoyed reading your comments about that. And I could, I can see where we struggle, right? In letting things go. And I thought it was really interesting because I am trying to, reduce my crafting supplies, my yarn supplies. And it's not so much hard as in, it's sort of like, it's like really fun for me right now because I'm sitting with all these, piles of yarn, and I am sitting with some other crafting supplies that I have and some sewing supplies. And it's not as simple as like going through a stack of paper going recycle, throw away, keep. It's more like I hold the yarn and I squeeze it and I pair it up with other yarns, and it's like I'm playing. So it's taking me probably like 3 times as long to reduce my crafting stash, but it's fine. Like I have, some things that I picked up at the thrift store that were like for yarn, that I use for yarn as yarn bowls because I really like having yarn bowls. And even looking at those, I'm like, you know what? I think I can let go of some of these. And so that whole process is taking time. I've decluttered books, which I'm really happy about. I was really surprised as to the number of books that were like reference books, like business books and some computer books that like are so outdated. There's no reason to keep them. Like, a book about a computer program from like 1994. Like, why are we holding on to that? You know? So I've decluttered the books. I've decluttered my clothes. I've probably have hit that 80% mark on the clothes. I have decluttered 80% of my clothing, 80% of my shoes, 80% of my, accessories such as scarves and purses. I had over 25 cloth scarves, like, the scarves that you wear that I washed and I just donated because I never wear them. If I'm going to wear a scarf, it's going to be either a crocheted scarf or some kind of woolly scarf. And I used to wear that type of scarf all the time, and people would gift some to me, or I would find one at the thrift store that I liked and I might wear it once. But I had a pile of them, you guys, a pile, a mountain of scarves that were just taking up space. And so I have been letting go of so much of that stuff, and it's been really wonderful. It's been wonderful in terms of how it impacts my time doing laundry, how it impacts on my time taking care of the house. It's just very liberating and freeing. So I'm still on the journey. It's probably going to take me the rest of the year. And like I said, I really enjoyed the comments that I was listening. I mean, that was listening. No, the comments that I was reading, and I picked a winner, and I have actually already shipped that prize out because I knew that I was sort of delayed in recording a podcast, and so I wanted to make sure that that prize went out, before I uploaded a new video. So the winner of that, let me see. I've got notes. I've got lots of notes. Karen V. So I'm going to put her comment here. And actually, Karen, in her comment, talked about how hard it was, or it is for her to get rid of, the crafting stuff. And yeah, it's difficult, but there are things, like there are yarns that I clearly see that I am not going to use, and I really just want to pass them on to someone who may use that, may use that yarn, may find joy in the yarn and actually make something. So yeah, it is very difficult to get rid of craft stash, but I'm working on it, and I think that I'll get to the point where I'm happy where I'm at, the way I got to a point with the clothing where I said, okay, this looks good. I'm happy where it's at. And so I'm hoping that that will be the same thing that happens as I declutter all the crafting stuff. Next, I want to talk about some upcoming make-alongs. And the first one is the Dodgy Bag MAL that I am co-hosting with Allie of Little Drops of Wonderful. We have been doing it for what did I say, 4 years? It's a month-long mal, so it's not like super long. And it encourages you, if you haven't made a bag or if you've thought about making a project bag, to jump on board and just make a bag. Allie has some great tutorials on her channel, and I will link all of that stuff below so that if you want to go check out the thread on Ravelry that she has, and also the videos on YouTube for the bags that she's made. I hope that you guys will all jump on board, share your makes, because you guys make some really, really beautiful bags. That make along starts on May 1st, so it's just around the corner, and it ends actually on my birthday, June 5th. So here's the hashtag. I'll put it right here. And if you could share your makes on Instagram using that hashtag, I tend to really keep an eye on it, and I like to like repost people's stuff on my feed, as well as picking a winner from that is Instagram thread. I will pick someone and send them a prize at the end. So yes, so Dodgy Bag MAL is just around the corner. The next mal that I want to talk about is the Summer of Romance. It's a cow, but knitters are welcome. Crochet knitting, we welcome you all. And we have some fun videos planned. I actually uploaded the first one on my channel. I think it was like last week or a couple weeks ago. Clarissa Beth of Crochet Cakes and I did a Zoom where we talked about kind of like going down memory lane and talking about some of our makes and some of the things that happened and didn't happen. For this summer, the theme is historical romances, and that knit along, crochet along is going to start on, let's see, I guess it would help if I knew the dates of when these things are going to happen. I will put the dates for the Summer of Romance down here so that you know. Look at, I'm still wearing the the wristband for the volleyball tournament, because I told you I was so like focused on getting back home to record this episode. Yeah, so I will put the dates, and check out Clarissa Beth's channel on May 14th or around those dates, May 14th, May 15th, because she will upload part 2 of the video that we're going to record, talking about some really fun things that are going to happen with the make along, as well as revealing what we're going to work on and hopefully have the yarn that we can share with you. So Dodgy Bag MAL and Summer Romance coming your way. So my first finished object is my Dorothy basket, which is really not a basket. It's a huge granny stitch bag. Look at this thing. It's so cool. I love it. I really, really, really love this bag. I have been wanting to get something that I could use to put all the things, you know, the bits and bobs that I collect throughout the weeks, so that when I record a podcast or a blogcast, everything is in one place. Because usually I'm like running around looking for things. So I said, I'm going to make a bag, and I'm going to call it my blogcasting bag, and I'm just going to put all the stuff for the blogcast in there. Also, I crocheted the bag to celebrate 5 years on YouTube, people. 5. The March 30th was my 5th year podiversary. I had to move that red bag that was right behind me because it was really bugging me. So yeah, I am celebrating 5 years on YouTube. Well, I celebrated 5 years on YouTube on March 30th. 5 years. And I thought, I just want to make something to make me happy and to commemorate this momentous event, right? So I decided to make that blogcasting tote, and the pattern that I use is from Emma Varnam, and she had that pattern, let's see, it was in Inside Crochet issue 106 in 2018. As you can see, the basket in the pattern is a lot smaller than what I made, but I wanted something big. So I knew I was going to make it a lot bigger than what the pattern called for. But I used everything, all the information on the pattern is what I used to make my tote, and it was great. One of the things, and I don't know that I mentioned this before, is one of the things that I've been doing because of this whole decluttering thing is I went through a lot of magazines, crochet magazines that I had. And, I realized I was holding on to like these stacks of magazines of things that really I wasn't going to make. The best thing that I did years ago, I think it was 2 or 3 years ago, is go the digital route with Inside Crochet, because I used to buy the magazine and I used to buy Simply Crochet, but now I just like doing the digital versions of the magazine, because I will tell you, Inside Crochet is fantastic in that you can print the patterns from the magazine, and they're perfectly formatted. It's like you're printing the pages out of the magazine. And for me, that's a game changer, because, I looked through issue 108, and this was really the only thing that I wanted to make out of it. Not that I won't go back later and maybe make something out of that particular issue, but for right now, this is the pattern that I wanted, and I was able to print it out. I was able to make it, and I'm not sitting on a stack of magazines. So digital copies of the magazine with the ability to print are definitely the way to go for me. And I'll show you a pattern that I want to make. Going through the process of going and looking at all the different issues, I came upon so many awesome patterns. Like, I came upon so many patterns that I was like, why didn't I make this? Why didn't I make these things? Right. But we can't make all the things, right? So I will share a pattern that I did see in one of the magazines that I'm really excited about later on. So the next thing that is a finished object is my Any Yarn Will Do cardigan. This is a paid pattern from Dora Does, and I've talked about this pattern several times. It is fantastic. One pattern lets you make 5 different weights, garments in different weights, from fingering to super bulky. It's well written, it's comprehensive, and I don't know what else to say except that I've made an amazing crochet garment. So if you follow me on Instagram, you've seen pictures of me wearing it. I put this stitch marker here so that I know that this is the inside back, and I'm going to put a label here later. But this is my cardigan, and I blocked it. You must block your garments, people. It's a game changer. I love the fit of it. I love the way it looks. I love that I was able to use this yarn that I've had in stash for so long. Even the details of how she has you do the band at the bottom. I could have made this long sleeve, but I'm looking to wear this in the spring and summer, so I made it short sleeve. And she's got really beautiful detailing that I actually didn't notice in the pictures when I was looking at pictures of this garment. But when I made it and when I saw how she has you do it, I thought, oh, that's really nice. It's really hard to see it too, but there's like a little ribbing not ribbing, but there's definitely a difference with the way she does the button band that really gives it a nice finish. I don't have buttons on mine. I didn't want to have buttons. What else can I say? It fits well. I will definitely be wearing my everyday cardigan. Oh, I will say this. I never hit gauge. So here's the thing. Um I never hit row gauge. I hit stitch gauge but not row. And I tried going different with different hooks and I just was never able to really hit it. And what I did is actually I made one that would be, I guess, a size smaller than I would usually make. I usually would make like a 1X, like an extra large, or uh let's see. For a while I was making garments that were 2X. And then I made a couple garments that were extra large that fit great. But when I noticed that I was going to have this issue with the gauge, I actually made, I think, the medium size garment and blocked it aggressively, but not too aggressively that it was a weird shape. Um, I switched hook sizes when I was doing the button band. I noticed that that really helped. And so I really played around with making this garment. As I said before, I really am into trying to make things that fit, even though I have to frog or I have to restart. Um, I'm not bothered by that. I'm more focused on making something that's going to fit and that I'm going to wear. So yeah, I frogged sleeves. I frogged, that button band a couple times because the tension wasn't right. Um, I adjusted the length. I did a lot. I started this back in, I want to say October or November. I had notes about when I started, but I don't know where those are. Um, so I think what I said is it had taken me 6 months to make it. So yeah, that's my second finished object. So I've got my bag and my, my cardigan. For my work in progress, I had posted a picture of this pattern, the See My vest by Zines and Roger, that I thought was almost done. But when I tried it on, I had it in my head that I was going to be okay with it being cropped. But then I tried it on and I decided that I didn't like the way it looked cropped, that I wanted to add more to the body, which means that I would have had to undo all the strapping and the shaping here in the front of the body. And so I took it to the volleyball tournament today and I started taking it apart. So this is where I'm at with my vest. This is yarn that I actually got at Stitches West. It is Miss Babs. And let me see. So this is one skein of her Yowza. What is it called? It's just it's like a giant skein. I should have taken a picture before, but I didn't. It's 540 yards. One skein of DK, 540 yards. And I knew that I was not going to have enough for the vest. So I paired it up with a Chelsea Luxe yarn, which is really, really pretty. The colorway is called Butter Pecan. This is the label. And this is the yarn. It's so pretty. Look at that. I thought that would look really nice paired up with this one. This one is called Ocean Jasper by Miss Babs. And what I did, because I thought, well, I don't know, maybe the contrast will be too much. I actually did like a little color card where I just, this is the Miss Babs, and then I introduced the Chelsea here, a couple rounds of the Miss Babs and went back to the Chelsea here just to see if these actually would work well together. And I really, really like doing this because sometimes the way I see it in my mind doesn't translate into what I'm working. And you can see here one of the rows that this is a part that I still have to undo. It works well. It picks up some of the brown and the creamy color, I think, goes well with this Miss Babs. So I'm going to actually do a completely different patterning of the yarn where I'm probably going to do blocks of the different colors because I want to extend the body, and there's no other way I can do it without introducing the Chelsea actually at the bottom part of, or in the body of the vest instead of just the top and the straps the way I had it. You can see here's one of the straps that I cut out. So yeah, I mean, this is the process that I'm really enjoying. I'm enjoying the process of understanding how I'm constructing the garment. I'm even thinking that as I get towards the top where the boobage is, that even though I won't change the stitch count, I will probably go up a hook size or two. I don't know. Because when I did try on the top when it was done, it felt a little bit too snug in the boobage, even though the waist part I thought was great. I like that fit. I just thought on the top part, it looked a little bit too tight. So I'm going to play around with hook sizes to see if maybe that will give me a little bit more room. And so hopefully, when I'm done with it, I will have another thing that I will wear because I really like the fit of it and because it actually fits, right? And I'm in between sizes because I actually started doing one size higher than what I have on right now in this one here. I think is the 5th size in the pattern. Well, I had one size up and it was way, way too big. So this one's a little bit snug, and then the other one was going to be way too big. But I think if I block it, I will be right where I need to be. So yes, so this is my current whip. And it's a great pattern. She's got, Rosina writes a good pattern. I mean, I've done many of her patterns and I've never been disappointed. I love the way she writes her patterns and I like the stuff that I make with her pattern. So, again, I will link to that pattern below, and everything I talk about, you'll find links below so that if you're interested, you can just go and check that stuff out. Let's talk knit collage Mal. Oh my God, I am so super excited. I have been so excited to get started on this make along. And I have actually bought kits for the previous knit collage. Well, they were not Mals, they were knit alongs. And I love that yarn. If you look at don't go look at episode 1 of the Crochet Luna Vlogcast. I don't even recognize the person in that, in that video. But in my first episode, one of the yarns that I share about and I talk about is knit collage. And that was like 5 years ago. And I still have that skein of yarn. So I was so excited when I saw this because it's crochet. The sleeves are knitted, but it's crochet. And actually, the Knit Collage website has some crochet patterns in there. I love Vanessa Reyes, who designed this for Knit Collage. She is such a beautiful person. I love her. I love her so much. And when I first saw, she did a reel where she was crocheting that granny square, and I thought, wouldn't it be great if Knit Collage had something for crochet? And yay, they do. So I bought the kit, and I'm going to be winding up my yarn this weekend. As you can see, this yarn is not your traditional yarn. This is actually cotton. So you get all these beautiful different colors of cotton. And I picked for the body of the cardigan, I picked this really beautiful. Ooh, look at how pink that looks. I like it. Didn't I just say that I wasn't into the pink? You guys can attest to that. I said no more pink, but I couldn't help it. Look at this pink. It's going to look so beautiful on me. Oh my gosh. Who am I? So yes, I've got the pink, but I may need other supporting yarn for this because I don't think I have enough for everything, but I have knit collage in my stash that I will be introducing if I need to. Now the sleeves on this cardigan are knitted, so you still get some knitting in. And what I liked about this is that I get it. You know, if you're a knitter, this is a great introduction into crochet because you're making granny squares. But what I like is that crochet's got their foot in the door, and maybe if the crochet does well with knit collage, the next, the next knit along, crochet along, mal, whatever you want to call it, has maybe a more intricate pattern or something different, and they will offer crochet. I love the knit collage company. I think Amy Smalls is just a beautiful soul, and the team, they have the most outstanding customer service. And when you get on their platform, it's called Teachable, you get these videos that take you step by step by step so that so you don't get stuck, so that if you're reading the pattern, you can look at the videos and she holds your hand the whole time. And if even that's not enough, you can call them. They have people you can call that will help you. They've got Zooms, they've got all kinds of stuff going on. So, yeah. Here's the other cotton, whatever, that I'll be using for my coring cardi. And it's living in this awesome Katie did bags that I got when I went to Vogue Knit Live in 2020, 2019. I don't know. Who knows? Last time when I went to Vogue Knit Live, the first and last time that I went, I got this amazing bag. So yeah, that's my whip. You saw my whip. This is what's gonna get on my hook. And then the other thing I wanted to share with you is the pattern that I found in another Inside Crochet issue. I had to turn the lights on. Like every time I record a video, I start at a certain time of the day where the light is good. I rambled on to the point where it gets dark and I gotta turn on the lights. Every time. I think every video is like that. So apologies for the change of lighting, but we're gonna move on. I hope you guys are having a good Saturday. I'm having a really good Saturday. Mainly because I'm surrounded by yarn and, like I said, decluttering has made my life so much easier, and I'm not spending all day on the weekend trying to clean my house. It's clean. It's done. Anyway, I joined a book club, and it is Women Who Read and Write Science Fiction. And the first book that we read, it's 4 books per quarter, which is, I obviously read more than that, but it's all audiobooks. I'm always consuming literature or, literature. Really, sometimes it's trashy romance novels, but whatevs. But I read Neal Stephenson's Terminal Shock, and I thoroughly enjoyed it. I really, really liked this book. So for the second quarter, we're going to read How High We Go in the Dark by Sequoia Nagamatsu. And that that will be quarter two, and then we'll have like a little discussion. We did it last time on Instagram, which was great. And then there'll be like a third quarter book that will be chosen. So really, it's only 4 books that we are reading for this particular book club. And it's great. I love it. I really, really enjoy it. So if you want to get added, just send me a message via Instagram, or you can email me. My email is always in the description box below, and I will get you added. And then if you want to join with us and discuss the next quarter's book, you're welcome to do so. But I found this pattern, you guys. It says book lover. Book lover. And I want to make that so that I can wear it when we do our next book discussion. Here's a closer look. And the pattern is by Rhian Drinkwater. Or Rhian Drinkwater. I'm sorry if I'm mispronouncing that. Again, I found this as I was going through all the digital copies of Inside Crochet. And I will put a link, because I think a lot of these patterns, because they're from past issues, you actually can find them as individual patterns. So I will put a link to the pattern, and I will put a link to the issue in case that is not the case and you need to go find this issue of Inside Crochet. You can purchase it, and then you can buy the pattern. So yeah, that's sort of like what's coming up for me. I really want to work on that. I also have a design that I'm working on, and a super secret project that I'm working on. So lots of crochet, lots of things going on. I got a job. It's a very nice, low stress job. I mean, there's a little stress with every job, but I'm actually working for the school district, and it's taking me out of the house for the next month, because it's just a temporary position. And it's been really nice. It's been really nice to be out of the house and, working and having interactions with people after so much isolation. So yeah, but that means I leave in the morning, I come back in the afternoon, and I'm crocheting during my lunch hour, which is really great, which means I actually crochet for like 30 minutes every day. Sometimes there were days where I never got to touch a crochet hook or yarn. And now, because I have a nice hour lunch, a nice hour to eat lunch, I eat lunch in 30 minutes, and then I crochet for 30 minutes. So that's been really great. The other thing that I wanted to talk about was, you guys know what I'm going to talk about, because how can I not talk about Morit issue 2? Oh my gosh. Again, blown away by the patterns, blown away by the beauty of it all. It's just, I love the model. I think this is Faye's niece, right? Faye, this is your niece? Like, she's going to answer back, but this is her niece. And she looks a lot like Faye. Don't you guys think she looks like Faye? Well, she's beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. The whole magazine is just, it's a joy. It's a joy. A joy and a treat. And one of the articles that really caught my eye was the article on tamarind. And the reason that it caught my attention was because, as Helda writes about her connection to tamarind, I grew up drinking tamarind drinks. I grew up with tamarind. Tamarind was a staple in my house. For those of you who don't know, I was born in El Salvador, Central America. And so tamarind is part of our cuisine, our Salvadorian cuisine. And so I saw that, and I thought that was great. And I definitely want to try the recipe. But I thought I would share with you guys, for some of you who may not have ever seen tamarind, in person. I went out and bought some. And so if you've never seen a tamarind pod, this is what they look like. So you can see that they're shaped differently, but the inside of it actually looks like that. I know what you're thinking. Yeah, it does look like that. But actually it's this tangy, delicious, just, I can't even describe the taste of it. It's like, I don't know. But as soon as I say the word tamarind, I just see those tamarind drinks that my grandmother used to make that are so delicious. And even to this day, if I go somewhere where they have tamarind on the menu, like a tamarind drink, I will get that. It's refreshing. It's delicious. And it's actually a fruit that grows on trees. It's actually not a root. Some people think it's a root, but if you look at it, this is a tamarind tree right here. They're big, and then these pods just kind of grow in between the leaves like that, and then people pick them. And you can put tamarind in sauces. You can cook with it. It's actually originally from Africa, from what I was reading, and brought over by the Spaniards. You guys know when. And yeah, it's a staple. It's a staple in Salvadorian food, basically. So yeah, that's Morit. There's only 2 issues available for purchase in my Etsy shop. All of the pre-orders have gone out, and if you pre-ordered Morit through my Etsy shop, I want to thank you for your patience. I know that that Allison ran into some issues with the printer, and so you guys have all been so gracious, and I hope that you enjoy Morit. And I can't wait. I can't wait for the next. I'm already looking forward to the fall, because the fall is going to be full of like fantastic sweaters and things like that. But this is what I want to make. I want to make this. I love, love, love the way that looks. I think it's an awesome, garment, and it's called Kihana by Janet, and I know I'm gonna butcher this name, Bogalund Benson. Yeah, I apologize, Jeanette, because I'm sure I have completely destroyed your name. But look at this. Okay, so this is, okay, hold on. I gotta take a drink. Allison is raising the bar with this magazine. You see this QR code here? If you click, you use your phone to access that QR code, you're going to get pictures of a kahina, just very, like on the model, just very straight pictures, no background, like solid background, so that you can see how the garment hangs and looks, right? It's difficult for me to understand how this garment is going to hang on when she's posing. The fact that I can click on that QR code and see how it looks on her just standing, turning to the side from the back, that's like so fantastic. I can't even tell you. And all the patterns have that QR code. And I want to show you the pattern, but you see that? It's just the level of detail and the level of just the standard that Allison is setting for this magazine, for any magazine, any fiber magazine, is just, it's excellent. And I love it. And I'm so proud that it's being done by a crocheter. I just can't even tell you how much it just fills my heart with joy. So yes, there's 2 issues of Morit in my Etsy shop. I also am uploading some new buttons. I have the Dodgy Bag button that's ready to go out for anybody who wants it. There it is. I don't know if you can see it. It's this beautiful vintage sewing machine. I have the Summer of Romance button, which is, here you go. It's this really pretty button. And I did a new design for May the 4th, which is available for purchase as well. And I did a Bridgerton one because who hasn't watched Bridgerton season 2? It's fantastic. And it's a quote by Kate Sharma. It says, "It's not your eyes. It's not," I can't even say it. I'm like, why do I even try and say these things? I don't have my glasses on. I could barely see without them. It says, "It's not eyes that meet, but souls that dance." So there you go. That button is for sale. Yeah, you guys, I'm blind as bat, like without my glasses. I'm using sonar to find my way around the house without glasses. Anyway, I want to thank you guys for sticking it out. And it feels rough sometimes when you take a break to come back and record. It feels rough. But it is what it is. And I just wanted to share that update with you. And I hope that your April is going well and that you're crafting with joy. Craft with joy, people. Craft with joy. And I will see you soon. Keep an eye on Instagram. I'm starting to post almost daily, which is great. I'm finding that I have the time to do that now, and I like it. And yeah, I will see you for Dodgy Bag MAL. I want to see those bags. Keep decluttering. You can do it. If you're having a hard time, reach out to me. We could do it. We can get there. And yeah, see you next time. Bye.